What is going on? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Hendrickson, and if you're brand new to this show, then welcome. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us today. What you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now in life, at least having the confidence knowing that you are getting, at least one step better, one step closer every single day to the person that you'd like to be, the life that you'd like to lead, etc., etc., etc. All right, what is going on? And it is Easter Monday. He has risen, baby. Easter Monday. So happy Easter to everybody. Hope that you are doing well. I'm doing pretty well. I'm pre-recording this episode, actually, so it's not Easter yet. I'm going away for the Easter weekend, so pre-recording this. And right now we're about 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks to the day as I record this. It is the 14th, actually. And so when we're listening to this, it's a week away, I think, from the federal election here in Canada here. And so if you're also brand new to this, then what I'm going to display here is how absolutely tone deaf I am for completely missing the American election cycle with this topic. But I wanted to talk about basically how to survive election season, because Lord knows, when election season, we just went through it with the American election. We're going through it now with the Canadian election. Honestly, the past 5 years in and of itself has been basically just like a mass propaganda campaign against us. Obviously, like the news is dedicated to basically making us angry, fearful, letting you know who to hate, what to fear, who's destroying the country, why they're destroying the country, why they don't like you, etc. This isn't about like left or right or it's about truth and absolute destruction. It's about chaos and peace. And actually, the peace, it's never really about peace, actually. It never seems to be about peace unless we're getting peace via sending millions of dollars of military equipment to kill other people, if that's your flavor of peace that you like. But it is, it's tax season. It's election season. It's, it's the Squid Games of real life, basically. Everyone's stressed. Everyone's on edge. Everyone's, like I said, anxious, fearful, stressed, angry. And there's an explosion of propaganda. And so, it's it's nuts. And so the obvious thing about all of this is that it's absolute circus. It's complete, like I said, propaganda. And if you're anything like me, I pretty much am at the point where I think everything in the news is fake. When I hear about things, I go, that's fucking fake for sure. They lie about this, they lie about that, they lie about everything. Like literally, I'm at the point now where anytime I hear anything in the media, I'm pretty prone to just being like, that's probably the opposite of the truth. Like whatever they say, whoever's at fault, it's like, they're not at fault. Like this person's at fault. Like that person's at fault. Like it's usually And if it's anything like work environments that I've been in, like sales environments or anything like that, like usually whoever's casting blame is trying to cast blame because they're guilty of whatever they're blaming other people for. They just don't want the fingers pointed at them. Like the best way to get someone to not point their gun at you, is to point one at them first, if that makes sense. And so it's just an interesting time in the world, and I think that a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people that they doubt even like the validity of the voting system, not even just like the idea. Like the conspiracies, quote unquote conspiracies that go down south about validity of electoral systems. But just in general, especially if you're here in the western side of Canada, it's pretty easy to feel like it's like, why the fuck am I even voting? Like, it's like literally our province has had a say in what election again? Like, seriously, like in a federal election, it's like, do people in Vancouver really matter? Or is this entire thing just picked by a couple of districts in Ontario? And so it just seems like it's like on the West Coast here, at least, there seems to be like kind of like this inherent, it's like, yeah, okay, my vote maybe matters in like a provincial election because we're like the metropolis area of British Columbia here in Vancouver. And so like it's like, yeah, here in Victoria, that's basically the only ridings that like hold much say in the province. But in terms of like the federal election across the country, it's pretty easy to be kind of pessimistic in regards to how much say you really have in the election, because like I said, it doesn't really seem to Alberta's got their own beef with the federal election, which is kind of funny in and of itself. But it's like here in BC, it's pretty easy for us to just just feel like basically, hey, it gets decided out east or in the middle of the country, where I call out east, but it's basically the center of the country in Toronto and the GTA area over there. And so if you do feel like that, if you're one of those people that kind of feels that like kind of pessimism or nihilism in regards to how much weight your vote carries and how much you really listened to or heard by your government, the best way that I kind of think about it here in terms of like when I think of those thoughts, when I think those things, it's like, yeah, well, I'm just going to do my very best to be the voice of reason for the people around me, do my very best to kind of illustrate my ideas the best way that I can. Like I do obviously divulge into politics here and there on this podcast, but for the most part, like when I'm just like, I'm talking about like in person, I'll obviously have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation about these things, unless someone wants to talk about these things on the podcast. But it doesn't really come up with anyone other than like my usual buddies like Sane or I don't know. I'm trying to think of anyone else I really talk politics with. It doesn't really happen too often. But look, like if you feel like you're not going to change the system, or you can't change the system, or whatever it is, like you're not going to change it really just by like complaining about how broken it is. I've been trying to do that. It doesn't work. But what you can do is obviously change yourself and lead by example. And so like if people do think of you, like if you're in a liberal area and you're a conservative, or if you're in a conservative area and you're a liberal, or whatever it is, then obviously what you have to do is represent your side the very best that you can. And how do you do that? It's like, well, obviously, like it comes down to a lot of the time with me, it's like kind of that self-development, self-improvement, lead by example, like kind of don't preach about it, be about it type of thing. Like it's like, yeah, if you want people to, share your point of views, share your perspectives, share your values, or just see that you are aligned or whatever it is. And the best way to do it is to do it with an open mind and to have them be curious about what you're doing. Like, hey, how is your business growing? How is your podcast growing? How is your social media thing growing? How is your family growing? How is it this? Like, have people be interested in your life and work on yourself. Just be, as calm as you possibly can. Be disciplined. Be strong. Be a good example of like what a leader should be in your community, and just impact, that idea of like be the change you want to see in the world. Like if you're voting your fucking ass off, if you're just voting as hard as you can and it's not making an impact, then obviously like, well, how are you going to make an impact then? Make an impact in your community. Build a program, build a volunteer program, do some volunteering for another program, whatever it could be. Get some kids involved. wow, that came out weird, but impact the community in a positive way. Get the kids like doing things where they can be productive and be kids, like build things or whatever it is, and impact your community in a positive way that way. Like if you feel like your vote is not changing anything, then change things in your community yourself. Get involved. But ultimately, I think just completely unplug from the circus. It's like everything on social media. If you look at the last American election cycle, you look at this current Canadian election cycle, it's like tit for tat. This guy's a fraud. This guy wants to tax you here. This guy wants to take away your benefits there. This guy wants to ruin your life this way. This lady wants to ruin your life and trick you into thinking it's that guy. Like whatever it is, like it's always like, the obviously like the political slander and the political kind of the smear campaigns, etc. Like that's kind of like old business, but like it's always been around. But nowadays it's just like, man, the politicians are starting to go on podcasts. They're starting to swear. They're starting to get exposed for a lot of different things now, and it's nuts. Like it's like completely crazy. Like personally, what I've had to do is had to put like a 15-minute timer on all, like across all my social media apps, like combined, like 15 minutes a day. That's it. Like it's like most of that is my posting and like sharing things and sending memes or whatever it is. And then the rest of it is just like, dude, I don't need to have these, 24-hour news cycles, these rage bait headlines, these like endless doom scroll sessions. Like it's all literally engineered by the smartest people. Like remember the social, what was that documentary they had on Netflix, the social media, the social network, social dilemma, the social dilemma. That was the one. And they had that thing talking about how there's all these engineers doing all this shit to make the apps as addictive as possible. Well, it's like, dude, you've got the news cycle is doing the exact same thing. Like, it always makes me laugh when people think that like it's like you can always tell the people that are like kind of most stressed on and most on edge, and like the people that trust other people the least amount. They're kind of like these weird, shaky people, like the same people that were wearing masks in their cars by themselves for a couple years, and still are in some areas, and you can tell who these people are, and you're just like, oh shit, like you watch a lot of state propaganda, don't you? Like you watch a lot of what the government's bought and paid for media, and it's like people think that's a conspiracy in the U.S., but like it's not even like in Canada. It's like, dude, we're literally, it's not. It's a couple Google searches away. Look it up, anyways. You can just tell. When people are consuming a ton of this stuff, whether it is, like I said, on like the global news or CNN or CBC or CTV or whatever fucking news outlet you get your stuff from, or if it's on social media, if it's on Instagram, if it's on Twitter, X or TikTok or wherever, your Facebook, whatever you get your news from, LinkedIn, for all the LinkedIn bros out there. It's like these are all machines for division and fear and, what do the Bitcoin bros say? FUD, the fear on what's it? Fear something and doubt, fear. I don't know. But it just makes people uneasy. Like these things. So for me, I had to set a timer and just say like, hey, I got to limit myself like a little child with like a video game, like, and just limit myself. Like I put myself on like a 15-minute timer. And even when you're going to violate your own rule of like, oh, I set a timer on my app, and then you go to use it again because you're like, oh, I got to post this story, or I want to check this message, or I want to do this thing. And it's like, dude, you've gone over your daily limit. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to do like a remind me in a minute, remind me in 15 minutes is the one that I hit. And then it's like, even like when you do that and you do like half an hour, say like double your daily limit or whatever, it's like, at least the third time you're like, all right, dude, I got to fucking slow down. Yeah. So just unplug from the circus. It's a war zone. It's an absolute clown show. And, at the end of the day, like people always think like they, I lean a little bit more to the I lean a lot right in regards to what Canadian politics are and like a lot of the people around here, but if you look at down south, like the Republicans, and I've got a lot of buddies. This is the point I was trying to make: is I got a lot of buddies that they're big Trump guys, they're big this guy, they like this. Not a lot of like Kamala friends, to be honest, but a lot of in Canada, it's a little bit more diverse as well, actually, because we've got just a weird circus going on. But what was I going off about? Yeah, everyone thought like on the right wing, kind of traditional right wing Republican, type of people were really looking at Trump as like kind of like a white knight of like, yeah, he's going to come and make things better. And we're only a couple months into his presidency, so we're going to absolutely see, I guess, how that goes. But one of the things is like, we look up to these people as if like they're like these like people that are going to come and save the day and impact our lives in a super positive way. And it's like, dude, if you need any more evidence that these people are just average idiots that are literally no different than you or I, look no further than their group chats that get leaked. Like there's no better evidence to show you how human and flawed and weird all these people are when it comes to like their group chat. Like when you see their group chats, you see like they're just like talking about basically bombing other countries, and they're sending like fucking flexing emojis, and like grown men are sending emojis about war. That it's like, oh, these guys are just fucking guys and women. There was some women, a woman, at least I know of one in that group chat. But don't worship these puppets. None of these guys are your saviors. They're not heroes. They're like at best decent human beings. Anyone that wants to be in control, anyone that wants to rule over people, is by definition like they not like us. So that's pretty much it. I don't know. Disconnect from this madness, from this circus, and do your very best. And I'm not even trying to say don't vote, because I still vote. I still think everyone else should vote. I think that it's the right thing to do. It's like, in most places, you don't have the opportunity to vote. If you live in like one of the countries that gets liberated by a North American country, you just get subject to whatever regime changes there. Or, there's other countries where you don't get to vote at all. There's, and we still have this, at least we have the illusion. If it's not as powerful as we think, at least we have this illusion, like they at least know what we want by when we vote, whatever it could be. And so I do think people should vote. And then obviously the question is like, how do you vote? Like I know how I vote, obviously, but if you're somebody like me that like, yeah, every time you hear the news, every time you hear anything on social media, I'll be like, whether it's on TV and newspaper, on social media, at this point, I'm at the point now where everything I hear, I'm like, that's fake. That's not real. That's a lie. That's far from the truth. Like in the last 5 years, 6 years, whatever, and it's 2025. So the last 6-7 years, it's become more and more and more and more and more evident that literally everything that they say is a lie. Like when it comes to, you name it, in the last fucking 5 years, 6 years, every single thing that they've been talking about, like everything that we should quote unquote trust the experts and trust the science, like it's all backwards. It's literally, it would take hours and hours just to list them, not even explain them, just to list the lies. And so now anytime I listen to anything in the news, I'm like, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. And so the question is like, how do you choose to vote? Like, how do you choose who to vote for? If you're asking me, that's a pretty logical question. It's like, okay, so because if someone was saying to me, everything you hear in the news is going to be a lie, you go, well, how do I choose to vote? I'm going to vote for this guy or that guy because everything I hear about them is a lie. And the best way I can explain it right now, that the way that I'm choosing how to vote is, I look at who's been in control over the last 10 years, because in the last decade, I don't think that Canada or Vancouver, British Columbia, any of those things, like I don't think the city I live in, the province I live in, or the country I live in has gone in a good trajectory. I don't think you could ask anybody here and have them say, like, no, it's better now. You know, like rent is more expensive, groceries are more expensive, gas is more expensive, like houses are more expensive. Everything in the city is more expensive. You go to Cactus Club, you order something, it's $90 fucking to get to your house. And then, once you factor in gas, you factor in everything, you're like, okay, I just spent like fucking $130 for like half a meal. Like it's like, what the hell is going on? You talk to anybody and they're like, yeah, my wages have gone up 2% and every one of my bills have gone up like 40%. And so if you're like me and you think, hey, there's no real information out there in regards to news or media or anything like that, but I still want to vote, I still want to make a change, I still want to make a difference, just vote for the opposite of what's been going on in the last 10 years in Canada. That's a pretty good indicator. Like, do you think that the country is going in a good direction? Do you think that it's been having a great trajectory? If you do, vote the exact same. Vote those people in. You're going to get more of that. You know how your dollars are worth way less and everything you want to buy with them is worth way more? If you want that to continue or get worse, keep voting the same. The only I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's like, that's where I'm at. I think everything in the news is fake. I think everything is, them trying to basically, if you basically justify sending millions of dollars, like I said, overseas to go fund wars and kill other foreign people, do regime changes. And then here domestically, it's like just basically trying to fleece all of us of as much money as they possibly can, pay for private jets, pay for dinners, pay for, what was it, like $150,000 of groceries in 2 years our last prime minister spent on our dime? Like 150, that's like fucking basically double fucking the average income in groceries a year. Yeah, thanks. Glad I fucking paid for that. Cool, man. I don't know. Yeah. If you want more of the same, vote the fucking same. If you want to have a change, vote for the opposite. Vote for the best party in opposition of that in Canada. Here we vote for parties. We don't vote for. But yeah. On that note, if you want to try and survive election season, plug your ears, turn your phone off, turn your TVs off, don't talk to people, tell people like, yo, I don't fucking want to hear your stupid, like, literal parrot of whatever news you just heard today. I'm not interested. Like, how are you doing? Tell me about you. Tell me about your life. Tell me about your family. Like, stop. Not everything has to be a heated debate. And yeah, that's, again, it's just like another byproduct of social media. Like, so many people are fucking watching these, like, influencers on YouTube and everything like that on Instagram, and they're doing, like, fucking debates on college campuses. Like, you have, like, grown men, like 30, 40-year-old men sitting and, like, debating 18, 19-year-old kids that are fucking, figuring out their life. They're fucking dyeing their hair. They're fucking doing drugs. They're sucking and fucking doing all these different fucking things. They're out there. They're wild people. And then you have a 40-year-old man sitting there trying to debate taxes with them or fucking immigration. And, and it's like, dude, you're getting slam dunk after slam dunk to put on video. Like, dude, you should be educating and coaching. Like, you're at the age where basically, like, you're like their basketball coach. That's your relationship with them. Like, you're like fucking dunking on them. It's like, dude, you should be teaching them how to dunk, like how to pass, how to like how to play the game. Like, not just like, this is the next generation. Like, these people are going to have jobs. They're going to have to hopefully contribute to society. Like, at least try and help. But now everybody's got that. They're trying to get a gotcha moment. And then it shifts into real life. Like, people fucking argue about it at the gym, at this, at that. Like, they're like fucking bitching at people all the time. They're like, everyone's just trying to, yap, 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 yap. And it's like, dude, just Tell your friends, shut the fuck up. Like, dude, I don't want to talk these politics. Like, I want to talk business. I want to talk work. I want to talk about your life. I want to talk about lifting. I want to talk about working out. I want to talk about exercising. I want to talk about like literally anything that's productive. I don't want to gossip about these like fucking like, what do they say? Like Hollywood or politics is like Hollywood for ugly people. Like, it's like these people are just basically followed like it's like a soap opera or like a reality TV show. I don't know why that term always escapes me. I always forget what that's called, a reality TV show. It's probably because it's so opposite of what it actually is. But yeah, all of it is everything. Social media, news, like everything is designed to make you, to manipulate you into feeling this stress and uncertainty and doubt. That's the uncertainty. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And you got to safeguard yourself. Guard yourself. Set a little timer for yourself. A little 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, whatever your limit is. Get your screen time down. Stop listening to all that shit. If you normally listen to political podcasts or news podcasts, switch it up for a season. How about try a month of Audible? Not a sponsor of this podcast by so don't, do it, but I listen to them. But, listen to some music. Put on your favorite tunes. Say, ask your fucking at-home Google Nest or whatever you listen to. Play some Shimmy Shimmy Yaw. Listen to some ODB. Listen to some, on that note, I think that's a beautiful place to wrap this up. I'm talking in circles. And I got cats jumping on my desk. So on that note, I will check in with you guys next Monday. Happy Easter. Happy Monday. Share this with a friend. Share this with a family member. Share this who you spent Easter with. Hope you guys are doing well. Love you all. Much love. Peace out. See you next Monday. Get ready for this election season. Stay safe out there. Much love. Peace out. Bye.